Hello, thanks for tuning in. In this video, we're going to run through the application process for the Regional Collaboration and Cooperation Grant that has just been released. Navigate to RC Management in Nova and to Applications. Once you do that, you will see a banner here stating when the application deadline is. At that moment, the submit button will not be active, so just make sure that you've got your application submitted by the date and time there, stated there. That's not the actual date and time, never fear. This is just for demo purposes. In the list here, you will see all of your applications. This is a competitive process, so you won't see all of the applications, just the ones that you have submitted. First step, click Create Application, and you'll be asked to enter a few items. The application name, the grant, there's only one available to choose from currently, the region, and the host college. Once you do that, you will be taken into the application workflow. I've got one mostly finished here for the sake of this demo, and we'll run through each of the steps here fairly quickly so this video doesn't get too long. So based on the information I put in, you'll see it here, but you could edit your application name if you choose to. Some information about the institution, the allocation, and the planned expenditures. This is calculated based on the budget. Again, not actual dollar amounts, just demo's sake. We have these assurances. You'll see I have not passed validation on this step. That's because I have not completed everything. I have one assurance unchecked. And just for information, if you're on a page and you don't know why you haven't passed validation, you can come here, ask it to take you to it, and it'll highlight the item that is causing the validation not to be passed. So I will check that box, and we're good to go. Contacts to are required: a project director, an alternate project director. Both of these roles have full edit permissions on this application. To add more contacts, simply click Add, choose their responsibility on the plan, and then the next step would be to add the user. Supporting documents, 4 documents required. We're missing one here, which we can see. Green checks for the ones that we have already supplied. Comprehensive local needs assessment is the one missing. To add a document, select the type. Local needs assessment. I'm going to browse my files here. Choose that one. Great. And I can add a comment. Upload my document. There, passed validation. We are good to go. Next step would be the qualifications. Several narratives here. Make sure that you read everything carefully, answer these to the best of your ability. You'll see a character count on the side for the limited number of characters. Note, if you're copying and pasting from somewhere and your paste exceeds 5,000 characters, it won't paste. So you'll have to trim it back, paste it in to be able to copy and paste into these narrative fields. Moving on to the problem statement, there is guidance text in some of these steps. Be sure to read that. And then again, more narratives. Make sure you read and understand the questions. Response to problem. So we haven't passed validation. The response to problem is broken up into 3 sections: structure, approach, and partnership and resource utilization. Each of those having specific questions to answer. Let's just add in our answer here. And there we go. We've passed validation. We've successfully answered all of the questions. Same goes for approach. Unique questions there. Again, make sure you read them, understand them, and answer to the best of your abilities. Be sure to read the guidance text when it is available. Might provide some good information and guidance. The work plans this round are broken up into 5 unique roles. There's some guidance text here to read that's going to give you some good information. Narrative questions to answer, and then outputs and milestones. So based on the output, there are some values. Some are required, some are optional. If you have a baseline value, obviously enter that. Enter your current value, your milestone date. Milestone 2 is also optional, but if you have a value, put it in there. And then if you put a value, you will be required to enter the date. So complete that table, answering all of those questions. Each role has a similar format, but is unique. Outcomes, this is a multi-select. So select your outcomes from the list of values. add a responsible person, their name, write what their responsibility is. And there we go. So same for roll 2, slightly different. There are no outputs. There is no table to complete on this one, but there is for 3, an abbreviated one, a little shorter. Roll 4 and roll 5. Failed to answer a question here, but now that I did, I passed validation. I have all of my values. And again, these values that I've input are probably not real. That's just for the sake of this demo. So go back to my workflow. Here I have my budget. So I have some information up top. I have if there's any match required, which I believe for the contributing programs funds, there is no match required this year. But if so, it will be stated there. The funds available, the amount that I have budgeted. So I've just built out a budget here. You're going to budget each fund individually. To add a budget item, just click add the budget item. You choose your expenditure type, the amount, and you can add a brief description. There's also a budget narrative here. Be sure to just kind of explain your approach and a description of how funds will be spent. Next, we'll input the forecast. So this is the rate at which we anticipate we're going to spend the money by quarter. This provides some really good information as far as the expenditure rate and remaining funds for reporting purposes. So please make that as accurate as possible. And my last step here would be that if I am the lead, I have the ability to submit, review everything, make sure that it's accurate, be sure that you've submitted by the deadline. I do have the ability to share this. If there's somebody that's not involved I want to share it with, I can add in their information, add some comments, and this would send an email with a PDF of the summary. I also have a link here to the RFA. So if you want to review the RFA, it's always available no matter what tab that you're on. And then just one other item that I want to call out is this commenting field. So if I click this, it is now turned on and I can communicate with whoever I like. So I can highlight some text, click the comment button, @mention people. I don't necessarily have to @mention, but I can, and this will send them an in-app alert that they've been mentioned. There. So it's a nice way to be able to communicate and collaborate either with folks at the Chancellor's office or folks on your team or just people that you want to have get their eyes on this. And then if you are done commenting, it will turn off that function, but it's always available. Alrighty. As always, help desk. If you need anything, click that help desk widget, complete the form, and we will get back to you as quickly as possible. Thank you very much.